we're gonna take a hypothetical look at something real quick. The hypothetical thing that I'm thinking about here is if we went back in time, we went and we brought the past up to the present now, in the time when the 300 is they argue. If you go and look up the 300 on the internet, it's gonna tell you there was more like 600 or something like that. So I really think that they mean maybe 300 Spartans. They might have been supported by some other outfits or some other military that they had at the time, but maybe it just represents just the 300 Spartans in particular, their special force clan clique that they had there. But we're not talking about that time in particular. We're talking about in the now. Let's say if we had the same type of treatment that except it's a new time and day. There's people that can learn how to speak English like your country, so they taught Obama how to speak English like your country. And where would Obama be though? Before I just say he's a terrorist and needs to be shot and killed and die, and he needs to die. He deserves to die. Or him being a traitor against my country and your country. I just want to know where he fits in back then to the now, what it relates, the 300, the movie 300, and how that relates to them coming in here now. And I wasn't even gonna even say that, but I need to make a couple of points of where we're heading and a couple of different models. And one of the places I was going to use as an example was Greece and their debt. So who was the first country to go bankrupt with these socialist scammers who they'll tell you that they're gonna go and kill ISIS, they're gonna go and destroy the enemy when you seen them just help bolster the enemy up, and they also got into different places like France where they were able to kill an onslaught of people. So do you want 1,000 people to die? Do you want a couple thousand people to die? Because I don't know where we're going other than us all being in serious hot danger from our enemies coming in here and then bringing them in here because they're one of them. So tell me, where does Obama fit? Does he think he's Xerxes? Xerxes, I will get you. And anyway, so Obama is like, I got a joke. My joke goes, I'm gonna say it more than once. It goes, fuck man, I can't go out. I gotta swear, I'm sorry. But anyways, but I say, but fuck man, I can't go out and just assassinate somebody and just kill a motherfucker just 'cause I want him out of the way or I don't like them or whatever reason. Who do you think I am, Obama? Who do you think I am, Hillary Clinton? Very funny. So dead funny. Funny, laughing. Yeah, dead people. Dead people left and right. Yeah, Marvel Comics. Yeah, I'm so happy and thrilled. Civil War movie, yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna watch more than just your cartoons. Right. Dude, I barely watch your cartoons as it is. I'm not watching that shit anymore. Ever. They piss me off with overstating racism. Overstating shit I don't even care. Our country is not black and white. Our country is full of color, and it's beautiful colors. Like you see the commercial where the fucking downy fucking shit gets soft and like fucking pull it up out of the dryer and they're all, oh, that's America, motherfucker. Why does it smell like shit? Why do I want to hang my shit out like this? Don't even fucking want nothing to do with it. But anyway, so to our first example that we're going to show is Greece debt clock. I was gonna go and say excuse me. This is how big is Greece's debt in 60 seconds. I want to know. What I want to know is I want to know how big their debt was when. I don't want to hear no video, please. When they went bankrupt. Amount they crashed. Shits. When they crashed. Greece's debt crisis explained. I don't know that I can go in here because obviously what they did was let me step the screen share real quick so you can see my face. So you can see my face again real quick. This is what the politicians did, and this is what the politicians here do, namely Democrat. I can say that some Republicans have helped it along, and that's probably just as evil. But there's what the Democrats are doing. I'm about to say this. Hang on. Woo! Oh. Dusty or something. Okay. Here's what they do. What they do, not just what they did. When Bill Clinton was in there, their economy could not show a significance of too much um, damage in the economy. Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House. He made a plan. It was called the Contract to America. That's what Newt Gingrich made. It was a contract to America to help America, in part, pull its head out of its ass. Whenever Bill Clinton was pulling our head as a nation, this is Bill Clinton pulling our head up like this, like the fucking movie in the gym. And then shove your head up your ass. Had our head up our ass, and here comes Bush trying to figure out how do you pull this head up out of this ass. So anyways, here's what they did. So they went and they attacked the 401ks. These Democrats come up with these clever things like Social Security, all these other things. You don't need to create your own wealth. Let the government's got it. They'll take care of you when you get old. They won't make Obamacare and death panels for you later. No. But anyway, so the tyrannical world order is on its way, and this is partly how they're doing it. So when he was there, he made a deal with NAFTA, the NAFTA trade deal with Bill Clinton. You want to say that he helped our economy? He did not help our economy. He tried to destroy our economy, but it's a slow process that even the most throttling, most gassing presidents that gas that fucking sucker to the full throttle realizes that it takes an exceptional amount of time to put all these different things and different clevernesses from these presidents or not, and say if they're helpful to your country or not. Also, that's another thing. Is he helpful or is he not helpful? Well, evidently, Bill Clinton made this NAFTA deal to send all of our factories overseas. And do you know what he did? You know what I uncovered and realized by uncovering this trail of mess that Bill Clinton made when he sent our factories overseas? He made it more possible and feasible for people to run sweatshops. In a third world country, if you're in on a NAFTA deal, they make it so that you can pay your peasant people around you, little kids that come to your factory, instead of going to school, they go to Bill Clinton's factories. That's a fact. That's what he did, and nobody ever talks about it. He's got fucking he puts little kids like they're slaves into slavery on a world scale, and he gets a fucking presidential fucking thing in Harlem. So I want to know how far are some of you people willing to fucking go with this hatred for your own country thing? Okay, up to this point, you can't accept it as your own country. I had to clear my nose. But up to this point in time, you can't accept America as your own country. You have to chastise it and hate it for where you're at and how you end up becoming American. You know, and it doesn't matter. Other people struggle, other people have a hard time. You're gonna sit there in your waller and you're not gonna do anything about it. Huh? You're that comfortable just bitching and moaning about shit that you'll never get solved. That you'll never get solved. So this is the tyrannical president that they brought us is not just wants to push fascism and radicalism and tyrannical doctrine as a whatever role he plays in this tyrannical world takeover. But obviously that's what they're doing. If they're bankrupting all of these nations, Greece was first. So this is what Bill Clinton did. Before I go back to the screen share, we'll go back to a screen share and we'll continue this conversation on. We'll look it up and we'll see together where Greece's debt was when they bankrupted and they had all of their people gathering up. They were about to go and kill them some politicians. The people were. Now, if you want to tell me that I ain't got a right to say that and that's illegal talk, I would say you're fucking full of shit. There's no way that I'm gonna fucking make fucking a large crowd of Americans, other people like myself, do one fucking thing or another. If we all snap and we all line up and we all head out there to kill you, it's because of the abuses that you've done to our country. And I really think there's a little bit of a difference between America and Greece. I think we'll actually kill you, Obama. I think we'll actually get your ass. You think that you're protecting yourself from uh, banks, the mob, the mafia, and other dirty people, but I'm here to tell you that there's going to be a point in time to come when those bankers in particular are going to be running the show the way we say it, and the mafia is going to be no more. The mafia will be a show that you see on the television, a reality TV show. The the good fellas or whatever, you know, it's not going to be in society anymore. There's going to be a point in time because we're going to confront all of those and all that evil, and we're not going to cater to it and just let the snowball roll and roll and roll. And we're not letting you take our firearms either. And there's one group of people that could lose their firearms besides us that could actually lose their firearms and still kick your ass, and still you can push it too far with them, put them into a holocaust. You know, make it so that different European countries that they sail by tell them don't port there. We don't want you, and they're refugees. They're Jewish refugees. Can you guess who I'm talking about? That's right, the Jews. The Jews. So the Americans and the Jew have one thing in common, where they could literally have no weapons, no guns, like how I am. I have no weapons, no guns. But I believe I am karate. Karate means without weapons. So I believe I can take you out without weapons. I can disarm your weapon. I can shove it in your butt, even. If I have to slip it through your pant, right through your pants, or time enough to pull your fucking pants down and shove that shit up your ass, I believe I'm that confident in myself when it comes to tactical, whatever, fighting, warfare, jungle warfare, urban warfare, um, any of it. So, anyways, I haven't been just sitting around not thinking of it, not preparing for it, but at least having a heavy awareness of my not my surroundings, but let's say what's surrounding the world and things to come. So anyway, so Bill Clinton jacked our 401ks. Um, they've been jerking our Social Security retirements and our Social Security disabilities and everything for years. They've been jerking it around. Now this guy Obama is giving uh, refugees, now that I understand, people I don't even know what they are, who they are. He's giving them $17,000 a month, and he wants himself to get a raise and not a swift booting his head in his face until he's kicked to death. He should be kicked to death by a mule. He shouldn't even make another human being have to kill him. You should just tie him up somehow, however you have his face down here, and make a mule kick him in his face. That's really, really good. I don't know, that's one good way, but they remember whenever their ends justifies the means or whatever, and they're bankrupting our country, when we finally catch up, they all catch up to everybody, and we get even with these people. Remember that the punishment must fit the crime. So no matter how morbid I get because of war or whatever I've seen some heavy shit, somebody's skull off their head or whatever, change you, change your person, who you are. Um, just just remember, don't go too far with it and don't take it that personal. Even though you got personal feelings, the way that you work through it and be professional about all this stuff is that you have to look on it on a realistic level and not too far. You're going overboard. This isn't about me. Is this about me in particular? No, this is about me and that I'm included in a big, huge body of people who um, struggle with themselves. This is America struggling with themselves over a guy, this Obama guy. Well, no, struggling. Because you can't decide. Um, you can't really figure out for yourself that he is trying to just trying to morbidly crash our economy to try to put us all into a world economy, and only people that are going to be able to be in their world economy to even try it out for your tyrannical asses. They're going to make laws and things that people won't like. I'm telling you, you will not like it. If you like Obama now, you will hate him once he goes and does whatever you think he should be allowed to do whatever he wants. Name another justice. Um, you know, open the border to Mexico. you know, I don't know. He wants terrorists and other radicals to be here, but he don't want Christians to be allowed to come here anymore. He hates the fact that America is got to be 80% Christian. How much? How? What's the percentage? Let's look it up. Percent percent of Christian in America, and God bless Don King. I just wanted to say God bless Don King. The guy with the big hair afro that goes way up in the ear. announces the boxers in the fight or whatever. Yeah, him. God bless you, Darn King. God bless you. You're a fucking role model. Sorry for saying it that way, but God bless you, Don King. Love God. Love people like him. Okay. Christian, it says affiliation percentage of U.S. population. Now remember, the Greeks were atheists or whatever. Not atheists, but atheists. I think there's a difference. I think an atheist is actually a cult. I think it actually is a religion that believes in something when they say they believe in nothing, because it's actually derived so much at tearing God down from believing in God that it has to be corrupt with insane Luciferian, uh, very satanic, demon cultic um, gear in that thing. It has to be. I don't see how you could not have demonic presence in the atheism movement if you say you're atheist. Because I think really non-believers, if you really want to be a non-believer and not believe in Jesus Christ, you need to consider this in being just a non-believer. If you just tell people that, then they don't have to get defensive of you being an atheist. Just tell them, no, I'm not an atheist. Because the atheists, the group atheists, take what they're saying out of context and they actually run it like they're a cult, like they're in a cult. So don't give me that they don't believe non-believing garbage. And the Greeks, when the Persians tried to overrun them in Thermopylae or whatever, those people in particular were not Christians, but they're non-believers that would be on the side of Christianity and Christians, probably maybe even more so today, in today's time, they would be on the Christian side. So I wanted to do a video. I haven't been able to do it yet because I don't know exactly. I just let it go because I didn't know exactly how to say it. I could have just went in there and winged it and just wing dinged it, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to say that, in my opinion, I see a lot of people, non-believers, who are being ridiculous, and I see some that are not, that obviously see that the government is tyrannical. They don't want their rights to be infringed upon. So if you're fighting for the right to be free to not believe or believe, why the hell are you fighting for what your cause is and what you believe, but you don't want me to have a religion, or you don't want me to have something to believe in? But yet, now since we had this guy in here and Muslims make up a minority here, not a big, huge majority in the world to him in his world global initiative, he doesn't look at it that way, but he uses it all for political gains and whatever he can use it for at the time. That's Muslims. He used Muslims, like he used the gays, like he used the blacks, like he used anybody he can. He used corrupt people. Obama used lifetime felons. I mean, people who you're not seeing there, like the West Side Connection and your rap music, gangster rap music people, artists and stuff. Even we're talking about people who are like your the Superman, the villain in Superman, the Lex Luthor. You're talking about people that are like Lex Luthor, and there you have it. You got Obama, you got Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. These guys, Bill Clinton attacked our 401ks, sent our factory jobs overseas back when he was the president, and was impeached for why, but it was ridiculous if you impeach somebody and then don't actually take their butt out of there. So, but they they tried their hardest to give us Al Gore. Continue that same crap, you know. I don't know where Hillary would have worked her way in there, but while he was president, Bill Clinton, and I believe that this was all Hillary's doing. While they were in there, Hillary refused to meet with Gold Star mothers. The Gold Star mothers, you know what the Gold Star mothers are? The Gold Star family is made up of people who had lost somebody in their family to war, to one of our wars. So if you have a Gold Star mother or a Gold Star father, something that almost makes me cry when I talk about it, but she dissed those people, and that really bothers me. I think I was about to lose it, so I had to go get a cup of coffee. So I went and got a cup of coffee. Anyways, yeah, she would not meet with the Gold Star mothers. Disgraceful. Yeah, I can't even tell you how disgraceful of a person I think these Democrat villains are. How disgraceful Hillary Clinton really is, and how disgraceful people who vote for something like that are, in my opinion. Somebody who would tell our military to go get a suit and tie, a church suit, I guess, how some describe it, to wear it, if they're going to come inside the White House. So when she was First Lady, she had a policy there to make them not wear their uniforms proudly. No military people were allowed in there with their uniforms on. They had to be in a suit and tie. I identified this a lot with because I was in a Marine family growing up. So I identified it as being a Marine thing, and I apologize because it's not a Marine thing. It is a military unified joint uh, military attack that she did to our military when she was First Lady. So and let's see, I'm gonna look it up real quick so I don't forget. That when Bush over. That when Bush took over. Debt ratio. I don't see it. I mean, I see a chart, but it doesn't show me. I can't understand what they're saying in it because it does it. 2001 it says in the billions. In the billions. So debt cause of change in U.S. debt position. Remember 9/11 happened, and the housing market had a bubble in it, and it was causing the market to crash. So the housing market crashed. People don't realize that we actually had a crash because they don't say like it all crashed. We're talking about now where everything crashes today because of what they've done. Everything's going to crash. Our banks are going to lock the doors, and they're going to have SWAT team looking cops all line up in front of the place and barricade themselves in there, and they're going to hold, sit there and hold you ransom, and your money's in that bank, and they've got the right with the politicians to do whatever they want to with your money. So anyways, CBO projected a 5.6 trillion surplus for 2002 20 through 2011 period. They're saying there was a surplus in there, but this is what they're saying. Watch this. Let me make my point on how collaborated and clever these people are on telling you that there was an actual surplus when there was actually no surplus in there at all. So a surplus means that that there's not a it doesn't mean that there is not a debt acquired there. Okay? Because I'm going to get to that point and I'm going to show you what our debt was when Bill Clinton left and that there was a debt there. The surplus, if this surplus was real, then how come they didn't use the surplus to squash the debt? Or did they? Or did they start from basically from scratch when Bush was in there? Remember, you can't blame Bush for everything that everybody does either. Obama, excuse me, can't be blamed for every single thing that everybody does either. If I have a bankruptcy, you have a bankruptcy, or we do something to default or be delinquent on a payment or on some kind of a plan that we're on, you know, we're not only not completing bill of sale transaction to own the merchandise, but we're also all included with the politicians and abusing our societies. And the more that we get to away from doing what's right and being where it's right, the more that they're going to be there too. And they have an unprecedented level or scale that they can spend our money on. So it's not like if we take out a credit card and we just max them all out and then we pay just the interest part. You know, that's what these guys are doing. Obama did not do a budget, fix a budget. He's wasting money, and they're barely even um, doing a bit, a little tiny responsibility is paying just the interest. So they barely pay the interest for the paying the interest part or whatever on it. They're still racking the debt up extremely. So I'm going to show you something. Who created more debt? Bush, 2 terms. We had, and we showed you this before. We showed you what a tyrant Obama and the Democrats really are, and that they really are helping to destroy our country and our economy, and these people really deserve to be confronted now, not later, you know. But it's gonna take later before, because like I said, I can't make anybody. Even this video, no matter what I say, is not persuasive enough for my big body of me and my nation of people to rise up above these swine bags in Washington and just go kick their ass out. Just go kick their ass, thump them really fucking good, and make them leave. So, here we are, 4 trillion, and they're trying to say that there was a was a surplus right here, 5 trillion um when Bush took over in 2001, right? Well, we'll watch this. Okay, Bush's debt 4.9 trillion. Obama adds 5.3 trillion in 1 term, right? So that's 11. We're at probably 11, 12 trillion dollars. It shows up if you go look at our debt that his guy laughingly, jokingly, haha, it's so funny, I bamboozled you. And he comes out, yeah, no, I didn't screw you. You screwed you by voting for me. That's what Obama thinks. He thinks you screwed yourself because you were dumb enough to vote for his dumb ass. So let's see. We're going to go U.S. debt when Bush left. U.S. debt by president dollar. Worst record of any president in national debt. Other side. Reagan took office. 1 trillion government using same sort of raw dollar counting. Obama presidency to end with 20 trillion in national debt. I think it's a little bit higher. I think it's more like 22 because the dude has been partying nonstop. That's all he does. He does nothing for the cause, for us, for our country, for our nation, for Tisby, for patriotism, for the flag, for the military, for the welfare, for the blacks in the ghetto, for all of us, for anybody, for autistic people, for handicapped people, for old people, for evil villains though, for evil ass fucking swine bags that really need their ass kicked. Obama's on their side. Obama's right there for them. Oh, person that needs your ass kicked, that's totally selfish, self-centered, and is trying to make a big, huge, crisis or big thing out of something very small, minute, and selfish, like gay rights or some shit like that. When there is uh, uh, a scale of 300 million, 310, 320 maybe million people here that don't share that view. How many people in this country share that view until they get enough people to do that, to bamboozle us that way? Our society, the espionage is to where, they're all gay. Women are all gay. Men are all gay. You have, uh, uh, Sodom and Gomorrah again here. And then Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by God, but what they do to their own self before God comes in there, because you got to remember what God told um, Lot's, what he told Lot, right? Told Abraham's nephew Lot. He told him that if you can find 100 clean cut people, you find 100 people out here who are not corrupt in this way, you come back and I'll save I'll save it. I'll save all the nations, all of them. You can keep it. That's what God told him. Told Lot. Lot came back, said God knew he wasn't going to find a single soul. So God said, go out and find 50. Then he went to 10. Then he said, one. You find me one guy. So God's not going to confront me on something that he's going to do anyways or wants to do and challenge or try to riddle my mind whenever God already knows I'm on board with what his decision is. It's God's decision. You know what I mean? So God's not going to come to me and say, Christopher, no, when I'm going to destroy this place, I want to make sure that there's not a hundred clean souls, good men in America. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it just totally demolish itself. So if I can go out here and I can find that many people, I can find thousands. I can say the amount of Christians here is 70.6%. We're not going anywhere. We're not being destroyed. Um, you're going to have to twist this thing way, way, way more, um, you know, be more elaborate than that, than to get us completely off kilt there. So, U.S. debt when Bush left. We'll look them all up. U.S. debt by President Dollar. Remember, they're trying to give Clinton a surplus. Remember. So, if we catch them lying, they're a liar, and we don't believe them anymore, and we won't ever take anything that they say to be truth. Barack Obama, he's a piece of work, is what he is. Yeah, and see, that's not what I was saying, and they're just gonna screw me on their stupid ad and whatever else. Let's see if I can look at this. Okay, Reagan, 1 trillion. George W. Bush, 1.49 trillion. So look, it looked like You know, Reagan didn't do such a bad job after all, did he? Oh, if the debt was going down, holy cow, Clinton, right? Then, it's 1.54. I gotta show you something though. If they're not gonna give me this here, they're full, full of it. I think, or no, I don't know. But let's see, let's see. I don't want to say something I don't really know about. I'm ignorant. U.S. debt when Bush left. Is it 9? 9. Let's say it like this. 9 trillion. President Bush. Obama increase in debt held by the public. Bush. Oh, 1 day ago. Change in debt from taking to leaving office. Nixon, Reagan, Bush. This says, what I'm trying to explain to you is that, and we'll get to it. I'll have to get to it. I have no other choice but to do it now. U.S. debt when Obama took over. Anyway, 20 trillion. Who created more debt? Under Obama. Images, news. They probably hate my guts. They probably really hate me right now. Like, why is he showing this? He's not allowed to show this. He's not allowed to say what's on his mind. He's not allowed to have free speech. You know, that's what these Democrats are saying right now. What is this guy doing on this YouTube, talking all this shit? He cannot go on here and talk all this shit. Let's see. All right, 2008 GDP. Well, these are making it frustrating for me. 6.3 trillion. Yeah, all of the U.S. presidents, 43 U.S. presidents combined, 0.3. But there's a magnificent point here. Then we'll go to U.S. debt in 2009. Dear God. U.S. debt in 2009. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we'll look it up. My point is you already seen this right here. Who created more debt? Bush. This is a accurate. Who created more debt? Whoever this is, Marco Rubio. That Obama did, and Bill Maher, comedian, claims Bush did. Yeah. They they must be filled with Satan if they don't want our debt to be paid off, and they don't want our wars to be won. When it's something as serious as letting the Persians come in and invade our country. So we got these politicians and Obama up there. He's also taking bribes and money and whatever else from our enemies or from people who want to take us over. Maybe they don't, you know, they're not like Saudis maybe want to take America over. So they're going to try to do it economically or whatever, this and that. But they're not going to come out and just tell us they're our enemy and they want to do that. That would be stupid of them. And, you know, and smart of me, it's very smart that I explain this. But whoever brought this, this is the actual amount of increase by Bush. Okay, so the U.S. debt, the U.S. debt, uh, let's see, 2001, 2008, 2009, 2008, 2009. So is that in the trillion? So now where we're at now, we're at 18 trillion. So this guy laughingly just pumped money out of our stocks, out of our 401ks, out of our retirements, helped our banks screw us even more, and they're partly how they do the raw deal to us and initially give us such a hard blow to our economy to force it to crash like they did to Greece first, remember? Because they're the Persians or whatever now coming in to invade all of the West. And with really bitter, stupid politicians that hate their own country for whatever reason, they're allowing the Persians to do this on an unprecedented scale. So here we have it. So this guy was saying that Bush was wrong. Okay, Bush created 4 trillion. So out of this 10 trillion, from 4.9, let's say 5. Out of 5 of that, only 5 of it is actually Bush's debt. The rest of it is ours and other people flaking off the economy, the housing market bubble. These people made billions of dollars. They made like Trump money. Trump billions of dollars for being crooked though. All really fast. Punished the housing market for doing it. It caused everybody's house. Like unless you sold your house before 2005 or 2006 maybe was the latest possibly. I don't know. You'd have to go and look exactly. But I know it wasn't, in 2009. You could go and buy a house in 2009 though, and then be sitting in a house and it decrease right as you buy it. Like how a car decreases when you drive a car off the lot. They're allowed to lie to your face. This is how we got our house here. My parents got this house here. It's a nice house, so it fits us all, right? So how they got this house was these realtors sold them this house for whatever $250,000, and they lied to my parents and they told them that this was what the going price of this house in this place is. But in order for my parents to make that kind of money reselling this house, they have to fix it up better than what the people had it in the condition it was in. It was like it was an abandoned house for 5 years and nobody did anything to it. And that's the condition of the inside. It was just, it's just, it's got people living in it for some time now. So your house and or car or anything, if it just sits there, it doesn't for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. It's just freaking weird how things work like that. But if you don't have somebody living inside the house, it's gonna possibly deteriorate, and it's gonna go more than if somebody's not there taking care of it. You can have somebody trash a place and do a worse number than that. But anyway, so they sold them the house for that. And then as soon as they sold the house, the actual appraiser, the county appraiser or whatever, came and told them their house is only worth 115,000. So they just got ripped off over $100,000 or something like that. Yeah, you can't even resell this house for $200,000, and the people who came and lied to them about that won't go to jail. Don't go to jail. So You see what I'm saying? So that's what they did to just the housing market. They crashed the housing market. People don't look at it like that. They're looking at the bigger picture of when everything is gonna crash. And not everything has crashed yet. Certain things may have crashed. If you see something that's odd or it's just screwed up, like like buying a house or like the housing market is, then you buy a house or buy something and it ain't worth shit as far as the market says. Then there's been abuses, and it's not just politics. It's actual private stuff too. But these guys let hijackers get away with hijacking our computers. I'm just like, I'm saying, like, if I was president, Obama revealed so many different things that I would do now if I were the president. I would go after cyber bullies. I would make your internet more secure. More and more people are on the internet. Everybody's on the internet. Why the hell can't it be secure? And why can't we block uh, bad things from happening and capture all the criminals? And just capture all the criminals in the world. It doesn't matter to me, really, what you do. If you're gay or you're fucking something like that, and that's between you and God. But whenever it comes to actual hurting another human being, especially like a child, then it becomes personal to me. And then I'm like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? We gave you all these rights, and then you come just to push it and to push different sexual orientations on people, even if you're lending them some story in their ear. It's You don't think that's as awkward as touching a child on purpose and deliberately doing that, and you don't, a molester, child molesters don't. I would guess they don't think they're hurting the child. Do you think that they think they're hurting the child? Because these Democrats think that they're hurting anybody or anyone's child by telling them about transgender stuff. And if a kid puts on a dress, a boy, and does all that stuff, that's not sexual. It's not sexual orientated uh, goofing around or whatever they're doing. Okay, if it was, I don't know that how much an adult was not involved, or really shouldn't be shot, taken out and shot. Especially if I got proof, like hardcore proof that you're a pedophile and you did something to a kid like that. How the fuck are you not took out and fuck if you don't know what happened to him? We don't know what the authorities did to him. So there's really things in communism or in other countries that are sort of a little bit fascist like that could do the right thing, but as long as somehow we work it out to where they don't abuse their authority. You have to have shadow of a doubt, absolute proof that people did that. So, but I strongly believe in an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So, okay, so Bush leaves office with 10 trillion, this amount right here on our debt. Okay, now on the top of the page, see what's going on, see what that all means. All right, George Washington. Okay. Wow, he did rack up the debt, didn't he? So, anyways, they're gonna tell you that Bill Clinton had a surplus, 5 trillion. Where? Where was the money? It means that they had money left over from money they were gonna spend. They they decided under Bill Clinton that they were gonna spend $5 trillion. So they worked it up out in public to tell you to your face, to all our faces, that this was a surplus and not just a fictitious amount of money that they said they were going to work with or pretended they were going to work with, but they didn't spend it. They were able to hold it back and not spend it that year. So when Bill Clinton left, they had a surplus. But, excuse me, when Bush entered office, there was a actual national debt of $5 trillion when Bush took over. And some people try to get away. See, right here, $5 trillion when he took over, when Bill Clinton left, and they're trying to say that this was a plus, and they're liars. So, and some people try to say like Bill Maher or these guys, Michael Moores and stuff, might try to say that Bush added all that so that they could get their cockamamie liar in there who's going to spend $10 trillion over 8 years for real. Lie to your face, and that was their initiative anyways, and really they're pissed off at Bush. I thought back then they were pissed off at him for not spending more money, for not being more abusive. So it just Nancy Pelosi and these other evil people, they want to work up something in their head. It's total bullshit or whatever. So that is complete bullshit when they said Bill Clinton had no debt. They're a liar. You're a liar. There was no such thing as a surplus. Just because you decided not to waste $5 trillion of our money back then does not consequently mean that you saved us any money just because you weren't allowed to waste it or spend it or blow it. So here we are. Once they got Bush out of there and they convinced everybody about Bush was the tyrant, and they get their guy in here, here it starts going up. It keeps going up from where it was left off. So you understand part of how the debt keeps increasing is because Obama doesn't do anything to slow it down or stop it for one, and then he adds the throttle and adds what he wants to spend on that. So it goes from 2009 to 2010. Oh, 2 trillion right there. 1 trillion. 2 more trillion. Or to 2013, 2014, 1 more trillion. 2015, 1 more trillion. 2016, we're working that out. It'll be another trillion, another couple trillion here. I'm telling you, he's probably gonna try to spend 3 trillion, 4 trillion, or whatever this fucker can spend out of there before he's gone and out of there, and before they get another person in there that can go in there and do it, he's gonna try to make it as miserable and as hard of a fucking task to save our debt and our ass from a president who gives a shit that goes in there to try to work with the economy. And another thing that the Democrats hate George Bush over, and I try to explain that to the Alex Joneses and all these other people who subscribe to that type of stuff, which I appreciate it. I like it. I don't have much or anything at all negative at all to say to Alex Jones. Or to say anything to Alex Jones, I would say, or to myself, I would say, we need to, it's okay to do your conspiracy theories every now and then, but we really have to stay on track and keep people aware of what's really going on and stick to the truth and not be in so many uh, elaborate conspiracy things as, you know, conspiracy theories. We need to dig up our evidence, you know, and improve our point. So, anyhow, my points. Um, so who created more debt? Now you see, obviously, here says debt crisis explained. I don't know that I would go to the New York Times or anybody else for that matter and try and listen to one of their cockamamie stories on why Greece crashed. It ain't obvious. And what kind of idiot do you have to be to realize that their politicians are ripping off their people's futures, their retirements, their savings, you know, putting these people out of a home, literally their own politicians took all their money and means and jobs and all this and this and that, and put them in a state where they're going to have to depend on the government now to live, you know. So then that everybody, we all get put into a point, place in time where we're all dictated to one way or another by tyrants. And there's no way that you're not going to get a tyrant like Mussolini in there. You don't think Obama's not a tyrant like Mussolini? You, what's wrong with you? You don't see the Mussolini Obama connection. You don't see the Xerxes connection with Obama on how he just thinks he's described to all these different things. Obama's heroes are all the ones that ever attacked the West. Anybody that was close to defeating the West, conquering the West, or using the West, using the West for evil, you know, gotta conquer that West. So let's just read what the thing says here. If Greece defaulted on its debt and excited the Eurozone, they argued it might put up safeguards to limit the so-called. Yeah, they don't safeguard nothing. They're not safeguarding nothing. They're trying to go into a world economy, and they're idiots. They think instead of just trying to um negotiate it legitimately to you, quite possibly like I would think George Bush's dad tried to do. I think that's the difference. I think George Bush's dad, George Bush Sr., had a global agenda, but he was trying to do it not sneakingly. He was trying to do it openly and right in our face. Let's go to the UN. Let's go to a world order, new world order. So I don't even know what's up with people would even think even a legitimate way to do it is okay. But his son Georgie, they call him Georgie, I guess, George Bush Jr. I really like him. I would take him over as a president over any Democrat or any idiot any day. George Bush is a um, whoa, he is a good guy in my opinion. I think he is um, one of the most decent presidents there ever were. If Nixon and Kennedy go down as being heroes and Reagan, I think George Bush should too. The war in Iraq was not George Bush's own personal thing, it was Reagan's, and Reagan was working on an American economy structure type of system to get us all to work and not working for a European dollar. So when the Democrats try and argue all this, they try to appease to the simplest minds and all these minority groups and these other people that don't think about it like, oh, it's racist. Yeah, it's racist that I say I don't want to go to a European or a fixed, some kind of global dollar. I want to stick with my U.S. currency, and I want my money to be strong. Especially if I earn it, if I have to go and bust my ass in my hustle to get my money, why are you fucking helping these faggots take my fucking money from me for? And blow the economy and waste all that money. Have to push other presidents now that don't want to abuse people at all to have to think of increasing taxes now. Now they got Trump even talking about increasing taxes more when actually, if you want to know the truth, um, I already said before, I know exactly how to save your economy and to save the government from the crisis and to get the government off of everybody's back. I already know how to do it. You want me to tell you how to do it? Go watch First Bueller, stay off, and listen to um, Ben Stein when he's lecturing, and all the kids in there are like they're falling asleep and they're not listening. You know, that's how I say it. Like, you guys fell asleep in class, and then whenever they went to tell you the important stuff, they had some clown come in and tell you all the socialist negative Obama, Saul Alinsky type of garbage. And what did you end up doing from that? You were happy, you were excited. However they said it to you, it wasn't dull. So they got your attention more. So they made you listen up, listen in, and listen in, everybody. Listen, come on, get closer, closer, everybody. I got some fascist, Nazi, socialist, communist, dictator, Democrat Party agenda propaganda to tell you that's anti-American and hate your guts. But come on, come closer. Come closer, people. Come closer. I have a story to tell you. You know, narrated. This is narrated by Chris C. Lanham III. That's right, a gangster ass motherfucker. Chris C. Lanham III. He is gonna say I'm gangster, meaning that like I might be prone to break somebody's legs, but I won't gank you for not just for no reason. It's definitely and it's an OG type of like older person type of position that I'm in. I don't steal or fucking do anything dirty like that at all. But if somebody creeps up on me, they're gonna be fucking hurt in the dirt. That's all I can tell you. So I'm gangster for that matter. Anyways, and I will hurt you. And I will hurt you. Send more. Send some. Send some. Let's see it. Just please, whatever you do, don't don't get me caught up to where, you know, um, people are able to make it look like I did something wrong. You know, if you want to fight, let's go behind the building or just calmly, just hold your breath and remain calm until we go around the building. Whenever there's nobody around and nobody can see us, then we can go fight, duke it out of public's view, so nobody sees us and nobody gets into any trouble, and the fist can start flying right once you get around the corner. You don't have to square off with me like you're dueling in a duel fight. You can start swinging at me. As soon as we go around the corner, we both agree to fight. As far as I'm concerned, however that fight goes, we both agreed to do it. So you agreed to either get your ass kicked or not, or win, you know? So George Bush did not have a global agenda. He was for the American agenda, and that's now I pieced it together and now I realize that's why they say George Bush Sr. did his own thing. He did not continue Reaganomics. If he continued Reaganomics, he could have possibly been a two-term president and got his son elected in uh, what it would have been not 2000. It would have been 4 years before that, 96, right? So if his dad would have been a two-term president, I believe that they could have got Bush in there anyways. The second time, I don't know where we would have sit on our war and terrorism and stuff, but if they would have committed another act of terrorism like that, we would have went to war with them. And Democrats do not want us to go to war with them for some reason. They want us to treat it like a police state. They want us to treat our war with terrorists. That's why he pulled us out of Iraq and wants to close Guantanamo Bay. Is because he wants to treat it like a police state, like it's a police matter, not a military matter. So if you look at when Bill Clinton was president, the media is evil. It's so evil because they fail to relay all this stuff to everybody and tell us their timelines in history and how history did repeat itself. Don't let people tell you that bullshit that it doesn't, because it does. And Bill Clinton, it wasn't September, it was October when the World Trade Towers were attacked under Bill Clinton. And he was only in office For his first year, he wasn't even in there for 1 year. It was 10 months. And Al Qaeda attacked us at the World Trade Towers in 1993. Go look it up. But yet they attacked us again. Bush sent us to war, but Bush is a war criminal because he didn't treat them like they was just some thug that needed to be wiped off by a missile or something like that. That they don't actually have a terrorist regime, a terrorist army, and now they've got a terrorist army underneath Obama. You go, you go look and you take your opinion on ISIS. In my opinion, ISIS, I thought they were one of the worst ragtag military militias or whatever you want to call that, an army. Oh my God, it looks like they went to um, some third world country and just grabbed people randomly, Arabs up out of the desert there, pulled people out randomly, put them all together, gave them absolutely no training whatsoever, told them, oh no, this is hell week, meaning you learn as you go, you go out there and you learn how to fight. So they're most more what do you say, proficient killers or fighters that ISIS has. Obviously had to learn how to do that from either being taught by somebody else, or they learned it from actually being in um, combat, I guess, enough, fighting enough to where now they're Billy Badass or whatever. But they're no Billy Badass as far as I'm concerned. Um, in ISIS, go look at the videos. Go look at ISIS fighting the video. Um, that's what I did. I went and looked them up, and I think they're ragtag. So my point there is, how could Obama not be helping our terrorists to rise up to whatever they want? Give them years. How long do you guys need to where you can conquer the U.S. military? How much time more do you need? Oh, hey, Iran. At the same time, Iran, how much time do you need to, you know, make those centrifuges for that nuclear bomb missile you're gonna send off? You know, it takes not very long for you to be able to enrich uranium in order to make a power plant. So that's how I said that again on here. We figured that out too by doing all these by search engines, research and stuff. That it takes um like several years, like maybe 3 years, 4 years, or more, to enrich uranium up to 90% where it can be used as a nuclear weapon. It only takes a short amount of time for them to be able to enrich it enough for a power plant. So, like, no time at all. And if you're really doing a power plant, you have no problem with making a video your own self about the thing. But definitely, I see them not letting the UN inspectors go in there and look at it, this and that. And you've got one of their boys in there that came to run us amok, ruin our debt, help the give the how much of a surplus does ISIS have? What kind of a surplus does ISIS have? So if you can piece all those things together that I just showed you, that they lied about, um, Clinton not having a debt and him having a surplus, that's all bullshit. Really good president. This dipshit in there, please. Put Trump in there, and I believe Trump is the type of person that is, at least now, I'm being heard by somebody who's potentially going to be the next president, and my voice has a place to stand, legs to stand on. All right. So, what made me do this video? I'm going to go right now, but I'm going to explain why I said that Obama must die. It's because he's going to tell our military. He's going around all over the country telling our military um, about Trump, this and that. How he wants to put up a wall uh, to border our country from other countries. When every country does that, and that makes Trump a bad person. You know, I really I can't wait to see somebody like Trump or Trump become president and see what they do. You know, see how much Trump can do to sidestep the constant blows that the media and these lefties come right to your face and get in your face and try and push these stupid liberal agendas when we have a debt increase to high heaven, high trilliancy, and you're not going to lower it. So anyway, so what was the other thing? The other thing was the other thing that makes me really hate him, and I wish he were dead, and I wish the government actually did it and took him out and killed him. Let us see it. Let us see it. Let us see the trial and his execution and everything. But here lately, what's making reinforcing these feelings is he kills a justice. He was in on it, on killing Scalia. So, and if Obama thinks that he's not a sitting duck target by the left, just as much as anybody who would want to get at Obama, his own people will get him, right? I think that they're going to try to assassinate him. They might try to assassinate Trump just to knock Trump out of there, but I don't know. I think that that's going to erupt, make the place erupt. If they were to kill Obama, then they could use that for sympathy and all this. Oh, poor Obama died. He got killed. His head blown off. So then they'll do that. They'll sacrifice Obama, and he's too stupid to realize what evil dealings who he's dealing with. That they will just throw his ass under the bus so quick. He thinks that he's nifty at throwing people under the bus and getting away with shit. Well, his own people are so corrupt that they can't even. I mean, they can't even, for the life of them, see in front of their face for how tyrannical they are. They're just tyrants. They go and kill the justice so that they could put another one. And he's sitting there trying to push this thing to get another justice in there. Um, after they killed Scalia. So I'm really not too happy, and I'm going to tell you that this resentment and these feelings that I have for criminals in particular is only personal if you make it personal, but it's a feeling of no, that's not right. You know, these get that's some bullshit. So a lot of the way I feel is for me from the abuses of other people. Like I don't live in West Virginia. I'm not a coal miner. I probably won't ever be a coal miner. I doubt I'll ever have the balls in that area. I have balls probably as much as those guys do in a different area, but not in the area of going into the ground and doing the hard job that they do. I might be ballsy to do a different job that might have to be done like that. I'm like claustrophobic and I kind of it feels like I'm being claustrophobic about it. Um, I just don't like that. Yeah, I would hope I would die of a heart attack quick if I ever was put in a position like that. And I was scared and I was like, just let me die real quick. I'm just kind of terrified of enclosed spaces and the possibility of being trapped and killed. Yeah, so they have an extremely hard job. We all know that. For somebody to go attack them, knowing that they're trying to bring us for risking their ass, and this is like everybody else does different jobs around the world, like firefighting, police even do it. I have to admit, it's just like the military. Anybody who puts their ass on the line for other people, and then for having people to shit on them. or to say that they don't respect them, or you know, you're not gonna use their service. We're not gonna use their clean coal, the clean burning coal. We're not gonna use it. So what I'm saying is, that doesn't personally affect me. The economy part, what they do, the economy might. But as far as these personal people's personal tragedies dealt to them and caused deliberately by selfish, sadistic, satanic, demonic Democrats, I feel resentment and anger and frustration for those coal miners and for other Americans here. So as far as if you want to know, I'm not like somebody trying to direct anything. I'm on board with what we're gonna do about this shit right here, because something needs to be done. And all of us, can we really live our normal lives and our normal existences and how God intended us to really have our different inalienable rights to be have ourselves to govern our own self, our own personal self, not to be governed as much or so much from the government. Why does the government have to dictate to all these good people who are working class people who pay their taxes and don't get caught up doing bullshit in society, but they're the ones who Obama and Hillary's and these other pukes want to go after. So it ends up becoming very personal. So if we have a war here, the way that I feel about it is I'm going to take it to an extreme level with the way that I feel and how y'all made this personal and had to make me have to come out here so viciously, like not really that vicious, but I'm just saying with these type of words or whatever, thinking that I have to use expressions like that to defend myself and my country when you're gonna lie to people's face and say, oh, Obama did so much for America when he really trashed the fuck out of our country. When he trashed our country to shit. These people are saying, oh, Obama, he did so good. What? What's the difference? What's the difference between him and them? All those people? I just want to know if people that are so stupid and ignorant, they can't see the difference between these fucking presidents and shit and what they've done to our economies and stuff. Those people should even be allowed to exist and live here. Should we fucking final execute them, or whatever? Zip their existence? Or should we put them on a boat and send them to Cuba? And do like what the Cuba nationals did to us when they sent all those Cuban nationals here in the 80s on Reagan when they did that. Just like they're pushing a bunch of refugees on us today. What did they do? They they brought us Cubans, Fidel Castro. That's part of why I hate Fidel Castro. Not only that he's a fucking piece of shit dictator, um, but that he fucking screwed with us big time. I'd like to see him fucking. I like to see him get his old ass should get tortured. He should get fucking. You took Gaddafi out that way. You should take Fidel Castro out and run a broomstick, fucking this fucking far as far as you can up his youngster and fucking kill that motherfucker. Just cut him up into fucking pieces. As far as I'm concerned, Fidel Castro. And what they did with the Cuban nationals is they took their society's worst people, worst criminals, people that they hate, that they hated, and they helped them flee to America and come over here. And we should have fucking sunk all their boats or wherever they were fucking coming over here in. We should have blew all that shit up and made them all fucking fish food. Not my. I don't. I guess it's my opinion, but I mean, I strongly feel that there's a way where I think that's like law. That's like fucking in stone. Like what should be done with these people and these other tyrants. They're not our fucking friends or allies. They're coming here with a fucking a goal in mind, and that's to spread the wrong propaganda for enemies and to destroy our country. So I don't know exactly what it's gonna be like being in a world economy or whatever, but I sure the hell am not for no damn uh global dollar, whatever a fucking ugly ass, nasty, ridiculous, stupid piece of shit world world money currency is gonna look like. You're gonna have us go to our banks and trust these people that robbed our bank accounts and everything with these crooked politicians. You're gonna have them give us the new world currency now, right? Are you gonna fade the U.S. dollar out by blending them together and saying first off, oh, you can have the world dollar, or you can have your same world U.S. currency will be the same as for a while until they can just get rid of the U.S. currency and then just go to the global note? Is that how they're gonna do it? They're gonna say Greece's dollar is equal to the U.S. dollar. So if you get a Greece dollar, in the U.S. dollar, you can trade them, and then you know, fucking stupid. And you can't even say retard. I'm a fucking 39-year-old autistic guy, right? When I was made that way when I was 3 months old. So I don't give a fucking shit. I'm saying fucking retarded. Okay? I don't mean handicapped people. I would not ever, never look at somebody with Down syndrome as a retard. I do not consider them a retard. Okay? I consider dumb, stupid people retards now. So just like a lot of other variations of names have changed. Like fag used to be a cigarette, or fag used to be something. Or in England it's a cigarette, but here it means gay. Back in the day, gay meant happy, and now it means faggot. I mean, gay means you're a fag. You're a faggot. Basically, what you want me to fucking lie to you or fucking say something that it's not? But anyways, the word retard has totally changed to somebody who's an incompetent boob who does stupid shit like this, and then has everybody else, all these other retards going that, woo, let's destroy our country, let's destroy our economy. It was George Bush's fault. George Bush hasn't been in there for 8 years now, but yet it's still George Bush's fault. And George Bush, I heard this fucking idiot the other day that I hang out with every once in a while that I know. This guy was in the army, retired from the army for Christ's sake. And he defends Obama to the end. And he's sitting there still blaming George Bush and Dick Cheney, because Dick Cheney used his old company, Halliburton, for their. I mean, who else did you fuckers think that they were gonna go get bids from? Somebody, the Democrats' fucking company that are failed businesses that they go and bail them out with billions of dollars because they're fucking non-hacking, non-making a profit. But they're fucking somehow they're still a company, but they're in debt. They're in the toilet in debt, like hard, like in Greece in debt for their own company. But here comes Obama to bail them out in Jacksonville, green energy, whatever, these different places like that. So, um, mm-mm. Hope I gave you all enough information to go with, and I hope I didn't talk too much. So, fucking retards. Don't let them make you tarded. Do not let the politicians, Obamas, and these socialists, and even now rhinos, make you damn retarded. Tarded. We got like Speaker Ryan. He's got to go. Trump said that he thinks he can work with this guy because He's going to either work with Trump or he's going to get fired. That's probably what Trump's thinking. But we're all of us who are going to go vote for Trump again, who just voted for Trump in our primaries or whatever, or went and registered to become a Republican because of Trump. They want to vote for him now. Let's see. They something to do with something that we feel with Trump or whatever. What we feel about Trump. Mm-hmm. Just don't let them make you be stupid. I'm sorry for forgetting what I was saying. I'm going off on these tangents, but like I said, I hope I gave you enough to do your own research on the things to verify what I said and to figure it out your own damn self, you know. And go Trump. I wish I hadn't have forgot what I was on right there at the end because I would have. Obviously, I would have liked to have ended this video like that, but you know, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not trying to make money off of this. I'm not trying to make this video to where it's gold, like where I'm working, I'm waiting, whatever, you know, to get paid good money to be on television or something like this and that. I'm trying to prove a point, trying to save our country and what we have going on in all our individualisms. Don't let other people's individual rights or whatever topple over your rights just because Obama thinks that they're special interest enough to where they have more of a right than other normal people or anybody else. And I'm an autistic guy. So I'm going to tell you that unless there is truly somebody abusing abusing me and I'm not able to defend myself and they're gonna get away with it or whatever. I believe that that's you know chalked up to as much of a crime as a hate crime. So I don't know how long. I think you could get like 10 years in prison for a hate crime. So we don't want to be prosecuted under one of those things. But I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna hold you to that um if it was a legitimate thing, you know, and I got my ass beat by somebody somehow, if I agreed to fight, I haven't ever one time when I've been in probably 30 fights. I've probably been in at least 30 street fights with people just um, my nose broke, to breaking people's nose, to all sorts of shit, to um, you know, mini almost fights, almost about type of fights. I mean, and if any of those would have went down, I wouldn't have went and called the police or anything like that. I wouldn't have thought about doing it before. But say like I got I got jumped before because these people were calling me a narc when I didn't narc anybody off. I'll tell you the story about it, and I'll tell the authorities too, because um, I live in Florida now, so I don't even live in Oregon where with all that bullshit there. But I was um, just hanging out at this piece of shit, um, Jason Bird, Jason Bird, Jason Burke or whatever, poop dick, poop shit, in Roseburg was going around telling people that I narked him off after he got busted. I had just went over to this dipshit's house, and I'll tell you what I did. I bought a 20-sack of weed from the guy, and the 20-sack of weed was so fucking short. It was like there was nothing in it. It was like fuck. I wanted to kick the guy's ass, but couldn't really kick his ass because he was. I agreed to it. I gave him the money, and I fucking left. So it was a done deal. So the way I looked at a lot of this stuff was a fuck. I just won't ever go back to that fucking guy ever again. Well, he got busted, I guess. within a short period of time, within that time frame of me going over there, when I went to his house, he showed me a pistol. I don't know exactly where the pistol came from, but he showed this pistol to me and he wanted to do a deal with me and sell it to me. So I said, all right. I said, I'll get my paycheck and I'll come back and buy the gun from you later or whatever. I don't even know what I was going to do with it. Probably end up doing something bad and probably getting into trouble with it, but not having any criminal thoughts or intentions to use with the gun. I just wanted it. I was like, yeah, go buy it. You know, fucking stupid. Stupid of me. So what I did was I said, wait until I get my paycheck and I'll come back and get it. 2 weeks went by and I didn't hear anything from the guy and I didn't go back to buy the gun from the guy because I worked at Michael's IGA in Winston, Oregon, and the guy had me ride over 3 miles a day. I ride 3 miles there, four, 4 to 3 miles back home on a bike at a certain point because I didn't want to waste the gas. So I was traveling from Green to from my house at 114 Aloha Court in Green, all the way to Michael's IGA to do 2 hours worth of work for a year. This guy had me do that before he um, moved me up from 10 hours a week. That's how much time the guy gave me. It was 10 hours a week. So if you can calculate and add up, this guy wanted $200 maybe for the gun, for the pistol. And if it was stolen or something bad, I would have ended up losing it, losing the gun, and I would have been stuck in a position where I might have to have said something where I got the gun in order to not get in super trouble, and then I would have to admit, yeah, I did something wrong. I told the cops something that really makes me not legitimate, you know, that I said where I got this gun, you know, the guy stole it. I should just go back and kill that guy, go and serve my time, and sit there and wait until I get out, and then I'm gonna go kill that motherfucker for selling me a hot gun. When I expected it to be legitimate or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, what do you do in that circumstance? Either that, or you snitch the guy off, or you rat him out. You tell the cops where you bought the gun. But that didn't happen here in this case. And I didn't rat anybody out, and I didn't get to go back and buy no gun. And like I said, it gets short of me on a fucking 20 a weed. So the guy's a real imbecile asshole as far as I'm concerned, and I didn't like him. You know, anytime that he had ever fucking would have went through me or any people that I knew, and I would have got any of them faggots, jackasses, weed or anything like that, I wouldn't have ever fucking dicked any of them over or took anything from them without acknowledging, let them know what the deal was. You know, straight up legitimate person. So a lot of people hated me. Now you see, they've got a reason because they're a fucking asshole who wants to fucking short you on some fucking weed or something, right? So, anyways, this asshole gets caught. He loses the gun. I don't know if he was showing it off and the police got called, or if one of his friends told the police or whatnot. But this creep, Jason Berg, went around calling me a narc, and I got fucking beat up. They were gonna kill me. If they would have killed me, I'm telling you, they would have possibly have got caught for trying to fucking get rid of my body, and it would have been a murder, not a manslaughter. It would have been a murder if I had not been able to crawl and fucking ran and fucking got out of there when I had a chance because of shit like that. Because of people calling me a narc or police putting me falsely, fictitiously in somebody's fucking some fucking evil fucking Justin Saunders fucker's fucking paperwork or something like that to fucking really fucking fuck my life over. I mean, give me a convicting me of a felony. over that whenever I confronted this fucking fucker for fucking stalking me. Where in America have you ever heard of anybody ever being taken out, made an example, and been made to feel like you're a guilty piece of shit, you're evil? When you no, really, they know that you're not. They're just doing it because they're an asshole. Just because they're a district attorney and a fucking pig cop asshole want to take your ass to fucking jail when you're innocent. And where in America has anybody? I want to know. I want to know where else have you known somebody to be confronted where they confronted their attacker, somebody for years, somebody who followed them for years, beat them up, almost killed them, and instead of letting up on that, they continue to go after the person, and then when the person finally stands up to them, they get convicted of a felony for beating up their stalker. That happened in Roseburg, Oregon. That happened to me. They did to me, and that's possibly what helped encourage my martial arts instruction that I had been taught and raised before, and to go with no weapon. No weapon. I'll disarm you with no weapon. So, anyways, they did that. But anyways, so this Jason Burke guy, I have no idea. I wish that somebody could tell me exactly how it did. But he was faced with some time. I guess he had to make some kind of a plea deal himself. So I don't know if he knocked some people off or what he did exactly to get out of trouble. But he did, and I didn't. But what I was faced with was working 10 hours a week. So after 2 weeks, when I finally got my paycheck, the check was so small, it was like $130 for 2 weeks worth of labor, you know? And I ride 5 miles there on a bike and back from Green to Winston every single day. Go to your IGA place, and this guy gives me under $200. The guy wanted $200 or something like that for the gun. Well, sorry, the true story, Jason Berg, is I got $130 in my paycheck, and I didn't have enough money to come and talk to you. I don't even know why I was even talking to him in the first place if I couldn't even afford it, except for the fact that he was toting around with it, he was showing it off, and he wanted to sell it. So he thought of me as a potential customer, but I would have had to done some hustling and bustling to figure out how in order to do it. But it's ridiculous. Some of the shit that people subject you to, you know, because you smoke weed or something this or that, and you're not trying to hurt anybody. You know, you don't have a fucking evil thought of being a tyrant. You just want to go to your job or fucking live your life or whatever you do, and you don't really want to hurt anybody, you know. And people like that, they want to push you to the point where what am I supposed to go kill myself? Because I'm like, I can't take it. I can't live it. I can't do it. You know, if I ever did, I'm telling you right now, I would do it in such a vindictive way, not a, I don't believe in doing I think it's kind of a conspiracy, all the shootings or whatever. I don't believe in going postal like that. What I believe though is maybe leaving a nasty little note and telling all these fucks, you know, who fucking, you know, for whatever reason you made a living and a life off of hurting other people and destroying their futures. And for whatever you got out of it, you know, you took that during that time, you know. So I would just be rattled up to the point where probably wouldn't want to be around me. Maybe that might be one thing that you can depict on my character about, and I'm autistic too, so you don't really want to set me off or fucking make me fucking like lose it and fucking be like, crap, you know? Because then you got somebody who fucking not. I mean, I would think about it. I think they do think about it. I mean, think about it that quick. And they're really smart, intelligent people, autistic people are. But I think that the way that y'all fucking help me along and fucking kind of set me in my ways is either I get to a point where I'm left completely alone and I can do my own fucking thing and figure out how to make money on my own without people stabbing me in the back and trying to arrest me and throw me in fucking prison. I'll fucking take a shank and just out of fucking hate and anger and being fucking that fucking irate with everybody, I'll just fucking lose it. I could lose it and snap and fucking take a shank and fucking shank myself in the neck and just say fuck you. Cause like I really give a fuck. The only thing between me and God and my soul is that there's some shit on this earth that each one of us need to figure out what our accomplishment and our goal is before we can die, and that's it. And your ass can die at any fucking time after that. So I think that I have met all of the criteria that God has intended for me to learn. Maybe not necessarily execute with what I've learned is beneficial to the planet. It's helping take care of people and the planet, and it works with nature, and um, basically, so like a solstice, like the project and like farming and stuff. That's what I just enjoy doing and deciding what's going to be my Christmas. It's going to be farming, whether I'm on a small scale or the hugest scale in the world. That's what I was sent by God on this planet here to do, was to feed the people. Like Jesus, when he broke the bread and broke the fish and multiplied it into more, into variables, spread this food and feed these hungry people. That's what God sent me here for. That is my goal. So if I've already accomplished that much more, I'm doing these videos and different things, I'm leaving archives behind. So, like I said, I can die of a heart attack, or you never know, right? All I can say is I believe I've met everything that I need to where I'm not going to be a wandering soul out here. I could be wrong, but I think that basically I'd be able to rest and take it easy if I die. So that's probably possibly another reason why they don't like the evil. I'm saying like Satan and the evil side of things. There's a good and evil. It truly is. You can't deny that if you believe or not, in God or not. There's truly evil and good. But the evil side doesn't want me to die. The good side doesn't want me to die either, but for different reasons. Is because the good side would want you or me or anybody to prosper and to be able to work together, like in a community, for each other, and be happy and not be like hesitate with hostility against each other, But not like this, not like what the politicians have us hating each other against each other, talking about feuds, talking about Obama must die, the tyrannical world order, what's it gonna be like? So the evil and Democrat agenda. Okay, the reason why the Democrats don't want me to die is honestly, I believe I'm paranoid. I gotta be a little bit paranoid, I guess, but I don't think they want me to die because they see me having to take up other people's causes, having to suffer because somebody else suffers. Not just because they put me through the cold, but because somebody else is hurting. Now I also fucking feel their pain too. So the Democrats don't want to let me die and just go rest in limbo. until the rapture happens or whatever. They want to stick it into me as much as they can over truths that I say about them, over them being nasty people, and that's the way that they're coming after us and me and different people who want the world to work for everybody, right? We're working with um, some tyrannical, nasty people there who, want you to suffer, and they think that we're wrong for bringing up all these points, for stopping Obamacare, for stopping every single thing that Obama did, for stopping Obama, for killing Obama, you know. But um, you know, that's what they're doing for us making these points and for bringing what they do out in the public. So it's like, well, when you attack me for telling the truth about what you Democrats are doing, you attack my person. You didn't deny what I said. So I don't really fucking know. I don't know what to do with these videos except the fact that if you feel something a certain way or something inside, you need to talk about it. You need somebody to speak to and tell them what your opinion is and how you feel. And that if I could, and it was legitimate and legal, and I could just snub Obama out and just kill him in front of everybody, all of you, and mainly for people who would like maybe not want to see that something morbid like that, but know that he deserves to be choked, strangled, and killed to death for what he is doing in our country, and that he is anti-president. I would be more than glad, more than happy to do that. I feel it inside. I don't feel being a terrorist. I don't feel going and doing something, getting a gun and shooting somebody up and doing something hostile and irate at people. But I feel for the better, for my better conscience and for everybody else and for all of our suffering. I feel it's not personal. I feel that it is not a personal feeling. That I would actually, if you guys promoted me, I feel this would be an honor, a promotion and an honor. If you let me go up and strangle Obama and choke the life out of him and strangle him and squeeze his neck till his head pops off of his body, I would find that to be an honor. I don't take it personal, and I would not. They say I'm not morbid about it. If you're morbid, like how they would try to say, oh, he needs to be checked out by a doctor or something like that, you would just go and do it. Or you would just go and try and do it and be all stupid about it. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to be stupid. I'm not trying to do anything illegal or illegitimate. I'm trying to do the right thing. And I don't want nothing to haunt me later for something that I did in my past. My recent past or my late past or whatever. Anything that I've done in my past, I don't want any of it to come and perceive me or haunt me in the future. So there's a lot of things that I can basically think, um, not think Obama himself, but think for the fact that there was this tyrant, this guy that point out all these different things, the level that I'm on with comprehension of these things, where I'm at now is way beyond. I mean, you're talking about the difference between politics like 101 or 111 even to like 220. You know what I mean? I jumped from 101 politics to 220 because of Obama. So you can't necessarily say that it was all for nothing. But darn, I'm really having a hard time closing this video out. So I'm just going to say goodbye and the hell with all you tyrants. Obama must die. The tyrannical world order. and it is a Democrat agenda.